time frame on the GBP USD, and we are looking at, let me use this tool. We are looking at this candle right here. So this is the candle that printed on Friday. So this is what we had from Friday, and this candle is very much indecisive. It's very much indecisive. So when I'm looking at the market, where it come from, on the weekly, right? So the reason for this push came down, right, from, obviously, let's say from this sorry, from these levels right here, right? Could say they came from cells of cells here, but I was expecting very much a push down since Wednesday, which we did get those cells. We are seeing a lot of news last week, which is on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then on next week, let me see something first before I go through with this. Because if we are still having a lot of news from next week, then we might get taken out a lot from Monday. Okay, so on Monday we having news. On Tuesday we have news, but it's for the Great Britain pound, which is at 7 a.m. So it's not going to affect the market so much. We have news the whole week from next week again, because it's the beginning, it's the middle of the month. So in the middle of the month we have more news. The beginning of the month and the end of the month, that we always get the same news but different reports, right? So I usually mark my levels on a Monday when we have a lot of news, because I know whatever that I mark today, they might just sweep right through and do something else. But from experience, when I'm seeing this candle that closed on Friday, I am expecting a push up. Like, I'm expecting a continuation. That candle is very much indecisive. So it's not a candle you would solely make your decision on and think that the market will go down, because yes, you could say we are here. We could say, okay, there's a much it's giving much cells on the sell candle, but then they closed on an indecisive candle, meaning that there's like 50-50 chance of buys and sells, right? So we're going to wait before I go to DXY. So obviously we have 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 1 2 3 1 2 3. They already used that. I bought that for news already. I used that area on Wednesday and Thursday for news. So I don't want to lie, I'm expecting a bit of buys from GBP USD, looking at the daily before I go to DXY as well. If it pushes down, I won't be mad about it. Because of that candle, it's pretty much giving very much indecisive. Going back now to the daily, the reason why I call that candle indecisive, and if you were to solely look at your analysis on that candle, and if you get it wrong on Monday, you don't get mad. Because see this area right here, we were pushing up, we pushed down, we pushed up, we pushed down again. This is a consolidation, right? This the same as the weekly. There is no indication as to where the market really wants to go, because the buyers are fighting, the sellers are in the market as well. So there's both orders from the buyers, orders from the sellers. So from now it will depend who have more money from these big banks to push the market up or down. So it's what I call a very risky trade, to take on if you were to trade on a Monday. But now, removing the indecisive box there, if you can look at where we are here, so we push down, we are here, right? Don't forget this area, right, from the weekly. We are on daily time frame now. This is the seller's market because of where we are. But then again, you have to remember we already pushed down on Friday for the news from that seller's level, right? So this is a sell side. There's sells on sells, or then we could say there's liquidity there as well. So we can push all the way down and at least come to that level. And then we can see something like this. Am I looking at a bit of buys from GBP USD? Yes, as I already said, because of that candle. I'm not seeing a massive push though. If it happens, it's because of the news. They can push the market up because of the volume. They already induced it in the market from the news. So anything is expected from Monday, because there's news on Monday, there's news on Tuesday. Till Thursday, I think there's news. So I am expecting a push up to the sells on sells of this candle. To be honest with you, because we are on the buyer's market. So when the market is pushing, for instance, now we are on the buyer's market on the weekly time frame, which is your 4-hour. If you can see, I'm not looking at a lot of things when I'm analyzing the market on the weekend. I'm just looking at where we are, the location, and where we go and where we might go. If we don't come back, cool. I'm looking at the market on Tuesday. I'm still changing my bias. As I told you, I'm very much flexible with the market, but I cannot be wrong more than 3 times and there's something wrong. Something is happening in my life. But if I didn't get the direction right on Monday, I'm definitely sure I'm getting it for the rest of the week, so yeah, it's still the same thing. Now the same candle from the daily there, this candle, the one we're expecting a little bit of a push to fill in the candle of the weekly that I showed you, maybe a push till there. If you now take it to 240, the same thing, right? This box, the same candle. I'm just using the box to show you which candles I'm talking about, which candles I think they will do this or that, right? So same thing, we have closed somewhere here on the seller's market, right? So if we have an opportunity to take this thing back up, all right, hold on, right there, second candle, right? So if we had an opportunity to come right back up and take the cells of the cells, right? Cells, oops, so, you can call it whatever you want to call it. If you want to use this as your fair value gap, you can use fair value. If you want to use that as an imbalance, it's the same thing. We're expecting very much of a push, just a little bit up, all right? Because this is a very aggressive candle, even though we are very much indecisive on the weekly. But this candle is such like I say, a giveaway. Clearly the market is selling, and the market is not just going to push all the way up. And even if there's news, it can push up, but when it comes here, it will slow down and come back a bit down. So I am looking for just a little bit of a push up, then a push down. And that's that. Reason why I'm looking for a push up now that you're seeing us on the 4-hour. You're seeing these candles, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have all these candles here that pushed us a little bit to the upside. So this candles, remember the buys of the buys, right? So we're not really expecting just a push all the way down. And looking at the news, it's not the news that are so aggressive, like FOMC, CPI, and PPI. It's not those big news. It's just small news, So we can at least expect those buys based on the orders that are sitting on these areas. 1, 2, 3, dip. There we go. We have another push. It already happened. It can happen again. It doesn't matter. But we can expect some bit of a push. If the market comes all the way down and did not give you maybe an opportunity to come up, waiting for an opportunity here for those sells, and go short here. Like something like this would happen, right? So I'm going to say this is our area. We're waiting for sells like that, and it doesn't happen. It just goes all the way to the downside. There is an opportunity here. Because if I said to you, you always have to be flexible as to what if this does not happen, this might happen. This, don't be too fixed on it. It's on sells. You have to sell. No, especially in the middle of the month when there's like news on news on news. So anything is possible. So if we're not here for something like this, right, we'll get we will then get something like boom coming up. I'm not writing this one off because sometimes it can push all the way, come here. So from here to here, it's another drop down that can come to this area, but still sells on sells. It does not change because we are on the selling candle. So if it does not do that, at least this candle, this candle can play a role into that push we are waiting for, and then come back down. But from here, be very mindful because this is the last candle that pushed us up. So we can have a nice push from there, buys of buys. So all in all, I am seeing a bit of a buy to sell, right? Buy, not just buys to sell on the, what is this thing? On the 4-hour time frame. So I'm on the DXY right now on the weekly time frame. Okay. So we're seeing a push down here as well. Just to remove everything for you. We have an aggressive push down. We stopped somewhere here. Sorry, not stuck. We just took a nice break from here. This level, as you know why we are stopped here, because we have that this level right here. We pushed down, we came all the way down, right? Looking at where we are now, right? We are on buyer zone, okay? We're not taking it away. This level has already been used. Hence I'm saying it's weekly, yeah. Hence I'm saying we are seeing a bit of a push up, right, from this level. So I am seeing just a push from this area as well. I'm seeing a push, something like this here, So if this one, as you know, if the XY pushes up, if we're pushing up, that means GBP USD will push down. So therefore our analysis from GBP USD, therefore that push I'm waiting for from here will come from DXY. When it falls a bit, then here we'll have a push up, and then when DXY start to push a bit up, then we come down. So we'll be waiting here for those sells. I don't know if I'm making sense, but that is what I'm seeing right now. This level, it's already been used. We have that level, it shows this that we have already used this candle that you can see here. So we can expect a bit of a push up. Now, if DXY decides to just come here, there, because here there's an order that's sitting here, it needs to be closed. It can open on Monday, come a bit down, then do something like this, taking this out. What does that mean for GBP? It means that we're pushing up, right, for quite some time. So this is a weekly time frame with DXY now. But let us not forget that we have news for the week, but we are definitely seeing more push to the upside. We have that level, which is the, you can say that, right? Or you can say it's the buys of buys. So we're not really looking at more sells when the market comes to that level, but we're looking at buys, which will push GBP USD up. Okay, so I go straight to the 4-hour on DXY, and then there's my box. This is the box from the weekly. That is the indication of the buys of buys. Looking at where we are here on the 4-hour, which is more clear than the weekly, right? So we pushed just a bit up. It was on Friday. We pushed and we had this beautiful aggressive push to the upside. So I wouldn't be shocked if we can come right a bit down, because there's an order here, as you know, up of the candle. So I wouldn't be surprised if we can see something like that coming to take this, right? Which leaves GBP USD to plummet on the downside. And yeah, I mean, that's what I look at on the weekends. I said I don't look at too much for Monday, you know. Just look at what the chart is presenting, then I'll just see what I execute on Monday, you know. And maybe stretch it to GBP, Euro GBP, just for us to be clear with the direction, right? So using a Euro GBP on the weekly time frame, we had a push to the upside. Yeah, okay, right there, and then it stopped. It stopped somewhere here, right? This is on the weekly time frame. You don't have to look at Euro GBP, because Euro GBP might confuse you. So you can look at the DXY and you can look at GBP USD and try to correlate those things together. Yeah, because this one, it's very finicky. It consolidates a lot. So sometimes you get the direction wrong, you know, if you are still learning. But when I'm looking at it, I do see a nice push to that area, which confirms the DXY now, because in DXY we saw a push up. Here I'm seeing another push up a bit, and then a push to the downside, like something like this, you know, like that. Yeah, still seeing a little bit of a push up. If we go to 240, oh wait, let me see daily. Yeah, So daily would be more clear with the direction. So we stopped here because of the cells on cells came down here. We're looking at this traffic right here, this one, right? So you can see there's more buyers in the market, so you can see there's an area there of entry, so if we get something like this, I wouldn't be shocked at all. So all in all, the pairs that I use that correlate with GBP are pretty much pushing up in my opinion. So we might see a push to a downside for real, like for GBP USD. Not forgetting again the news and the time of entry. If you're entering at 1:30, therefore you'll be looking at news, maybe you might get taken out. But if you're looking at trading rate after the news, then you might get the direction right. But I'm pretty much seeing a bit of sales for GBP for the week. Not for the week, but at least maybe 2 days. And yeah, that's it. Have a great one.